Please do not intend to try this. The content of this video is solely based on past human experiences and may vary according to a person's physical or mental state at a specific moment. All the information shared are merely for educational and entertainment purposes only.
So tattoos have basically been around for a long time, with the earliest known ones dating back to the ancient Egyptians. And in recent years, the overall tattoo culture has slowly evolved and grown from being known as marking of cults and gangs to forms of art, allowing more and more people to express themselves through tattoos. But what exactly does it feel like to get a tattoo? Here, we'll let you in on all you need to know about getting a tattoo, and we'll dig into the details on how does getting a tattoo actually feel like. So to start off, it's not painless, that's for sure. The pain from getting a tattoo basically varies through quite a number of factors. Where a person's getting that tattoo, the tattoo artist, what sort of machine the tattoo artist uses, and a person's pain tolerance. In general, the closest and most common description of the pain by many is that it somewhat resembles an annoying hot scratch that doesn't stop for hours, and it's slightly more painful than what one would imagine. Many often mistake it as being somewhat similar to the pain you would feel from the needle of a flu shot. But in actual fact, it is different. A tattoo needle basically only punctures the first 3 layers of the skin, whereas an injection needle usually goes in deeper than that, so don't get it wrong. Now, where you're getting a tattoo do play a big part in the degree of pain you will feel during the process. The common areas which are deemed extremely or more painful are a person's head, rib cage, chest, throat or neck, face, eyebrow, groin, knee, shin, breasts, butt, back of knee, back thighs, top of feet, toes, hands, and fingers. Whereas the less painful areas are the forearms, biceps, earlobes, front thighs, lower back, shoulder, and calves. This is due to the fact that the amount of flesh, muscles, and fats distributed over each area on a person's body is different. The areas which consist of more muscles and fats usually hurt less, whereas the areas where it's just skin and bones will hurt a lot more. But this also varies based on the amount of nerves around a particular area. Certain areas with more nerves are more sensitive, hence increasing the degree of pain felt during the process. The next thing that plays a major role in affecting this pain scale would be the tattoo artist, and the type of equipment they use. Most tattoo artists tend to have their own style and habits they've accustomed to over the years. Some may have a heavier hand, which may result in a slightly more painful experience. But don't let that affect your choice in choosing an artist, as their skill and experience is what matters. Then, there are the different types of machines that also contribute quite a fair bit to the pain you feel. Of course, there are pros and cons to each equipment, and there's no say as to which is the better one. But pain-wise, the rotary tattoo machine with that buzzing sound comes as the most painful one to date. Both the pneumatic tattoo gun, which is air-powered, and the battery-powered machine doesn't inflict as much pain compared to it. Another crucial factor that can't be neglected is a person's pain tolerance. According to statistics, women tend to have a higher pain tolerance compared to men, thus, causing the pain to be more bearable amongst women. There are also certain medical conditions like trypanophobia, which is the fear of needles, that can affect a person's tolerance mentally when they're exposed to a tattoo gun. Some may even pass out during the process. Therefore, it's important to have a full stomach and well-rested body before any tattoo appointment. Now, there's also the shift in pain tolerance that happens during the process that most forget to mention. The pain will almost always be harder to bear in the first 10 to 15 minutes, as it takes time for a person's body to get used to it. Once you are used to it, the pain will be more tolerable throughout. However, the curve tends to reverse as you slowly creep up to the 3 to 4 hour mark. Your tolerance level will start to reduce drastically as your skin starts to get sorer and sorer. It will then start to feel like a real nasty sunburn, following with a burning irritation. So you might want to plan and schedule different sessions based on the size and complexity of the tattoo you're getting. All in all, there shouldn't be much to worry, as most people get over it just fine. The pain may be irritating or even nasty to some, but it is still bearable. What's important to take note of is in fact the recovery. There was a man in Texas, America, who unfortunately lost his life due to a severe bacteria infection not long after he got his tattoo on his calf. The man basically went swimming in the Gulf of Mexico just days after he got his tattoo, thinking it was nothing, not knowing that the tattoo is in fact an open wound, and it's somewhat made out of thousands of tiny pinpricks. These wounds would normally take weeks till a month's time to heal. It was an irreversible mistake that literally anyone would have made if they weren't aware of the conditions. So stay safe, my friends, give it some time, think it over before you actually commit into getting a tattoo you like. And most importantly, have no regrets. And if you like the content, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe, as it'll greatly help us in growing our channel and providing you with more constructive content in the future. See you next time.